Kia ora. I'm Dr Michelle Dickinson, and today we're going to be talking about climate change. When we talk about climate, we usually refer to the average of meteorological elements like wind, rain, and temperature. When we talk about climate change, we're looking for significant changes in our climate that occur over several decades or even longer. Knowing the science behind some of the changes that have occurred in our climate helps us to understand how and why it might change in the future. To help us understand climate change as a concept, today we are going to talk about the difference between climate and weather. Then we will look in more detail about some of the products and technologies that humans make and think about whether they might be affecting our climate. We're going to talk to somebody who researches what our climate was like in the past. Hi Tim, how are you?
Yeah, hi Michelle. Very good. Excited to be on your show.
That's good. For everybody at home, can you just introduce yourself, please?
My name's Tim Naish. I'm a geologist and a climate scientist. I'm a professor at Victoria University of Wellington. I do a lot of my science in the Antarctic, and I'm really interested in how the Antarctic has changed in the past and how it might change in the future with global warming and what this means for us and our planet's climate.
Tell me about your lab then. Do you have a lab in Wellington or in Antarctica or both?
I don't specifically have a lab myself. I'm very lucky. I have a time machine. So what I've been doing a lot of my life is drilling holes through the ice and into the rocks and the sediments under the ice. So my time machine allows me to go back in time and to see what the world was like. The rocks form in layers. They're very much like a history book, and you can read through the book and you can read the layers of the history of the earth. And we can use very clever techniques, like we can use fossils, we can use small microfossils, marine fossils, algae that lives in the ocean and dies, or we can use the pollen from plants that once grew on the land to reconstruct what the environment was like and what the climate was like and how big the ice sheet was and how high sea level was from this amazing information that is preserved as layers in the geological record.
So there are going to be students who are watching this today who want to do something about climate change. Is this something that we as individuals can do something about?
Oh, absolutely. It seems at times a really big problem that we have no control over, but that's not true. The science tells us that there is still time to keep global warming to a level that will prevent really bad things happening with the climate, things we don't want to have, like really big sea level rise and major worldwide droughts and wildfires and that sort of thing. There's still time. And so that's where we all have a role to play. I mean, people in their daily lives, and I think, COVID-19 has showed us this. We don't need to drive as much as we used to do. We don't need to fly as much as we used to do. We can live a life where our carbon footprint, the amount of greenhouse gases we put in the atmosphere, is greatly reduced.
Tim, it has been fascinating. Thank you for helping us with our climate change research and also for inspiring the next generation to help the planet.
That's been a pleasure.